Hey, heart seekers, welcome to the Heart's Hello Show, where we believe that our hearts are the foundation of our well being and happiness. I am your host, Keona Talana. You guys, guess what? We are at the tail end of this breakdown that we're doing for the word reveal. And for those of you all who are just now listening for the first time, hey, how's it going? We're breaking down the word reveal. And let me just go ahead and give you the acronym for reveal, and then you can go back and listen to all of the other episodes. So R is revelation. E, enlightenment. V, vision. E, exposure. A, awareness. And today we're going to be breaking down the word learning. I'm excited about breaking down this word because I think so often we think that we know more than we know. And 9 times out of 10, we actually do. But what is it that we do with the information that we have? And when we find out that the information that we have is incorrect, how do we unlearn? So I would be remiss if I didn't share with you all the definition of learning, which is a process through which knowledge, skills, values, attitudes, and behaviors are acquired or modified. It involves synthesizing different types of information and experiences. And we typically learn in a variety of ways through observation, experiences, instruction, education, practice, application, reflection, critical thinking, social interaction, collaboration, exploration, and inquiry. We learn by a variety of different ways. Myself, I'm visual. So I don't need you to tell me how to do it because I'm going to hear you. But until I actually put my hands to doing it, then that's when it's all going to click for me. So there are going to be some people where they're only going to get it with you telling them. There are going to be some people who need for it to be told to them and for them to actually do it at the same time. So again, we learn in a variety of different ways. But what is it that we do with all of this information that we have? What is it that we do with everything that we have been learned or we have been taught? Most of the time, we don't fact check any of the information and we kind of just go with it. And it's like, well, who told you that? Oh, well, somebody said, well, who is somebody? Point in case, right? We have been told for years that Christopher Columbus discovered America, only to find out that it was people here. And he didn't necessarily discover America. Well, what would have happened if we actually questioned, well, who was here to fact check or to validate the fact that he actually discovered America? How do you know he discovered America? Who wrote down that he discovered America? How do you even know that he showed up to America? If we would have begun to ask all of these different questions, then maybe, just maybe, we would have found this information out a long time ago. But that's not where I kind of want to go in this session because, again, we're talking about learning. But I want to go a bit deeper because learning often goes beyond our acquisition of factual knowledge and skills. And so I want to be able to deeply intertwine that with our spiritual and our moral understanding. See, the type of learning that I'm talking about, the type of learning that is going to cause us to go in this direction of having things to be revealed to us, which means something that was previously hidden that is now known, something that we have to be able to put light to. We just don't need learning. We need wisdom. And so wisdom, my good book says, or one of my favorite books, the beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. It might cost you everything, but get an understanding. And so one of the things that I hope that you all are gathering from all that I'm sharing and the action items and the things that, we need to be able to apply in our life as we're walking and running through this journey of life is that we need not just just not need, let me slow down. We don't just need learning. We actually need wisdom. We don't need just knowledge, where some people may say that knowledge is power. And I would beg to differ, because I believe that knowledge is going to be potential power only if you utilize what it is that you have been given. What if the information that you now have been given, you now add wisdom to it, and you're asking it and seeing it from a different perspective? What if now you have a greater level of understanding as to what it is that you have been given? See, sometimes we will just run with what we have, and we don't take time to slow down and ask a couple more questions to make sure that we are moving in the right direction. See, I believe that in this season that we are entering into, and for some of us already into a season, is that we have to be in the right place at the right time. But I also believe that we have to pay closer attention. I believe that sometimes we are going so fast that we end up missing the very things that have been placed in our lives, because we just want to get from point A to point B. But what if there's something that you needed halfway from your point A to point B in order to get you there quickly? See, as we're learning and as we are gaining a deeper understanding, and we're gathering wisdom, and we're trying to learn from those things that we've already come across in our lives, we're making sure that we're passing the test that we may have previously failed. We have to pay attention. We have to learn from our past mistakes. We have to unlearn some things that we may have thought were correct. And again, for some of us, it may have very well been that we thought it was. But when we know better, we do better. So I want us to get to a place where we are operating and moving from a place of power, that we are operating and moving from not just what we think to be true, but that we've asked a couple of more questions to know it to be true for ourselves. And that's going to be the pivotal point where our transformation and our renewal begins to take place. That's where, when our mindset begins to shift, because now we're not just taking any and everything that someone tells us. Now we're not just allowing any and everybody to talk and to speak into our ear gates. And we're not allowing just any and everything to be shown to our eyes, that we're being more conscious and cognizant of how we want our life to play out. And it's going to come from what we learn. What is it that we're learning on a daily basis? What is it that, we need to take hold of so that we can get to our next destination? Because what we know is that this is indeed a journey. And so what is it that we need to pick up? What is it that we need to put down? It's almost like, and what I just saw was like Dora and her backpack. She had pretty much everything that she needed in her backpack. If she had a map or a flashlight, whatever she was getting ready to encounter, she had with her in her backpack. And so that's what I see for us. Not that we're hoarding information, because some of us have and all of us do. We have everything that we need. But now we have to get to a place where we are picking and choosing what we're actually going to learn. We're picking and choosing what makes sense for us in this season. And that takes for us to understand, well, what season are we in? I believe I shared this with you all before. You have to be able to understand your seasons. Just like the seasons change from fall to winter, winter to spring, spring to summer, and you notice the seasons based on the weather. But you're going to have to sit down and learn you enough to understand, what season are you in? What if you're in a season of rest and now you've hit the gas and you're going full throttle and you're trying to figure out why things aren't just aligning in your life? Well, because this is maybe a season for you to rest. You can't pay attention to what everyone else is doing to the left and to the right of you, and you're thinking that that's going to apply to your season. Again, you have to learn you, and you have to be okay with where you are. You don't know what someone else may have had to go through to be in this season that they're in. That wasn't something that you needed to learn. You have to understand you. You have to learn you enough. And as we're on this journey of understanding and moving from a place of our heart center, we have to know who we are. Yes, it's great to understand our children. And yes, we have to be able to understand those who we're entertaining in our spaces, if you're married or if you're dating, and how you operate with your friends and in relationships and things like that. You do have to learn all of that, but you first have to understand you. Because when you truly understand who you are, then all of those other relationships that you have that you're now having to pour into are coming from a place of you having everything that you need first. So let's get to a place where we are truly learning who we are and operating from a place of who we are. We're walking out this journey of reveal. We are looking for and seeking wisdom and guidance and teaching from those who actually know what they're talking about. And I know that it's easier for us to kind of just uh, listen to any and everybody that's out here in these social media streets, and I get it. But you're going to have to figure out, what is it that you need in this season? Who do you need to be listening to in this season? Maybe it's, who do you need to become in this season? You know, one of my mentors used to say that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And so some of you all may just need a mentor. Some of you all may need to be surrounded by like-minded individuals who are going in the direction that you're going in. So figure out who that community is for you, of those individuals that are looking to go in the same places. Pick up a good book. Make sure that you are reading every day. One of my favorite books is going to be The Four Agreements. Find it, read it. And this is not just one of those books that you read one time, because as you continue to grow, when you go back and reread that same book, you're going to get something out of it that you didn't get out of it the first time. Maybe you need to just enroll into some courses, listen to some lectures, attend some seminars. There's a wealth of information surrounding us every day. But take some time to figure out, what exactly is it that you need. And you don't need everything, but find what it is that you need right now for where you're getting ready to go. I'm excited, you all, because I know that this year is going to be game changing for us. I know that as we continue to walk out this word reveal, that there are going to be so many different things that are going to be enlightened for us. So many different pathways that we're going to see that weren't there before, but now, because we have a greater awareness as to what's going around us and in us, that we can now be able to see certain things. So it's my desire that you get everything that you need out of this season. It's my desire that you go through and you're looking for the revelation. You're looking for the enlightenment. You're looking for the vision, the exposure, the awareness, and the learning in everything that you do. Why? Because we need it. We're in an era where everything around us can be a distraction, but when we know who we are, when we know how we need to move and how we need to operate, when Our discernment is on 1,000. That's what we need in this season. And so I'm hoping that this is what you're getting as you're listening to this show. That it's my desire that you're taking away from this everything that you need, and that you're getting everything that you need. So if you're ready to tap in, I'm tapping in with you. There's still some areas in my life that I'm still working on. Again, we're all progressing. We're all trying to figure this thing out because life is a journey and we are walking through it together. So I just want to thank you all for joining me for another adventure of the Heart's Hello Show. We're together. We're going to embrace vulnerability, learn from each other, and spread love. One heartfelt hello at a time. All right. Bye.